Hey everyone, hello and welcome, TonyBing here. For this particular test centre video we'll be having a look at Colossus. Now, being one of the heroes that was in need of a rework for a long time, he's had a ton of changes, and like some of the other heroes that with a lot of changes, for example Loki, Luke Cage, and in my mind he's really come off well for it. One of the things that's great straight away, I'll point out before we even talk about anything else, is you're no longer going to have spirit problems on him. He doesn't have spirit anymore, he's now got armour and he's got that awesome visual for it. So that's fantastic, so really good start. But let's have a look at the first tree, which is Mutant Powerhouse. So this particular tree is really his melee tree, and it's got his skills that we're kind of used to on live, with a couple of little changes to them, but by and large they are the same. So you've got Osmium Punch, which is a basic melee, and this gives you health on hit. Then we have Titanic Slam, so you get 8-second cooldown on that, and it gets a damage bonus based on your health. So I'm currently getting 53% because I'm using the health infinity node to bump my way up to 42,000 health there, but he's hardly geared, and you have actually got summoner gear on him, so you could get your health way higher than that. And then we have Demolition Stomp, which is your vulnerability skill. And then we have another basic here, melee attack. With this one you get a damage bonus per 1,000 health, so that's interesting, these two skills for players that want to try and stack health on them. And then we have Fissure, which is just a regular attack here, knocks enemy in the air though it does say. And then Steel Cyclone, which is affected by attack speed. And then finally we have Crushing Smite, so with this it's an execute, the crit hit chance goes up with how much health you have, so I currently am getting 42%, but I imagine with your base crit chance and this added in, it won't be that hard to get 100% crit chance on an execute, so that's quite nice there. But let's have a look at the Steel Vanguard tree. Now this is really quite different, you'll like this. So for this tree we'll start off with his dash, so it's a nice kind of simple one, the regular 4-second cooldown and 3-second charges that we're all used to now. And then you have Heroic Challenge, which is his taunt and his weaken. And then you've got Colossal Roar, which is his signature, it's just the same there. Now what we do have, which is great, you'll notice you've got 4 icons for different heroes here. We've got summons for Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Kitty, and also Magic. Now the reason I had summon gear on, I mentioned that a moment ago, the reason I've got summon gear on was to test whether or not the summon duration goes up on these with summon duration on gear, and it actually does. So with the setup I've got, once you look at the traits, I can actually have full uptime on all 4 of these if I so wished, so it doesn't leave you a lot of space in your bar for much else, but it's definitely interesting, and I'm sure we'll see some Colossus summoner builds out there which will look pretty nice, really seeing all the different X-Men interacting. But let's look at the talents and traits section now. So we'll look at the traits first, the offensive and defensive ones. So for offensive you have Osmium Champion. This gives you a brutal strike chance of 3%. I'm not too sure if it's a tooltip error when it mentions Siberian Express, a physical dot. I don't see where that ties into anyway, and I tried to attack him with a basic attack to see if we gain the dot, and we don't, so I'm not too sure about that. If anyone can clarify, please feel free to do so in the comments. His archetype is Tank, not surprisingly, so it's durability and strength he gets a bonus from. And then from the defensive trait we have Bulwark of Steel, so projectile reflect chance a pretty large 10% there, and the archetype is Tough, so defense and deflect, and he's got his 8% damage reduction as well, so I can imagine him being very tanky. And then we have Osmium Armour, so this is your primary resource, and the tooltip says while armour is available, half of all incoming damage is ignored, while the other half is first absorbed by armour before affecting your health. Now this only regenerates automatically when you're out of combat. So let's look at the talents here. The first line we have Stronger Than Steel, so damage increased by 10% as long as you have armour. And then we have Reactive Armour, so with this, while in combat your maximum armour is increased by 2% of your maximum health, so current bonus is 848, so another thing tying into people that potentially want to stack health there, so that's nice. And then we have Base Armour increased by a huge 50% there. So for line number 2 we have Seismic Stomp, so with this, Demolition Stomp gains the following effects: damage bonus, crit hit and brutal strike chance, and a cooldown as well there. Let's see, I'm trying to see that particular one. There we go, there it is there. Sorry that took me a second there, I'm not hugely familiar with Colossus. So the next talent we have here is Improvised Fault Line. So Fissure gains the following effects, and it gains a dot really. I'll activate it so you can actually see it, because I think the animation may be new. There we go, we can kind of see the ripple effect there, so that's quite nice. And then the third option we have in this particular line of talents is Meteoric Slam. So Titanic Slam gains the following effects: armor cost 100%, damage bonuses up to 150% based on the armor that's been spent there. For line number 3 we have Faster Than You Look. So Osmium Charge gains the following effects: it deals area damage at the end of the power, damage bonus 1% per 100 armor, and Steel Cyclone gains the following effects as well there. And I've just realised, talking about that, what Siberian Express is. It's his movement skill here. So when you're moving through, you'll be doing that damage. There we go. So the next actual talent we have here is 10-ton punches. So Steel Punch gains the following effects: damage bonus based on armor, Crushing Smite gains the following effects: damage bonus based on armor, and then Osmium Punch is the same thing, damage bonus based on armor there. And then we have Osmium Courage. So with this, Heroic Challenge gains the following effects: 900 damage rating, 900 defense, and 120 armor. And then we have True Comrade. So call-in powers reduce the cooldown of other call-in powers by 5 seconds. This is the one when you play around with summon duration, you don't have to equip too many pieces of summon gear. As you can see, I've got one artifact. I do have the 3 uniques here, but this allows me to have full uptime on all the summons. I'll show that just at the end of the video. And then we have Solitary Pillar. So this is damage rating 600, maximum health 600. The effects are removed if any call-in power is on cooldown. And then Vanguard of the X-Men. So call-in powers share a cooldown. When you use a call-in power, damage for all your powers goes up by 25% for 8 seconds. And then the final line we have Thundering Voice. So Colossal Roar, which is your signature, has a cooldown reduced by 2 seconds whenever armor is depleted. That is on a 5-second cooldown. And then Osmium Will. So Colossal Roar gains the following effects: 100% health regenerated. And then finally Impervious to Harm. So Colossal Roar gains the following effects: armor restored 15 per second for 7 seconds there. So it really does look nice. As I mentioned earlier, it seems to be the heroes that were more outdated that have got more changes and they've come off really good. Like Loki's great now, Luke Cage is great, Star-Lord is great. So it's nice to see the tables turned and get these players that were maybe fans of undertuned heroes for a long time. They're now getting a real powerhouse of a hero to play. But let's show off these summons I was mentioning. There we go. I didn't actually activate the particular talent here, this one here, which would, and you would have seen all the cooldowns pull down, but I'll move in a bit so they're attacking. I've got a strange T-pose as well. That goes away when I do attack. There we go, that's away now. But that's us. Looks pretty great seeing them all fighting together. That's what the X-Men are all about at the end of the day, really. So this was a nice fun one to do. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.